Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl, AmandaEnsing, and today I am here with a full coverage, flawless foundation routine. I've done several foundation routines, but I don't know if I've done one for dry skin. When you do the extra little steps you see in this tutorial, trust me, your makeup just looks so much different and you're like, wow, why have I never done this? So today I am bringing you this little foundation routine. I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to hit subscribe down below. If you haven't already, hit the little bell. And yeah, let's do it. Let's get into some makeup. Let's get right into it. My skin is confused and complicated. Thumbs up if anyone else's skin is like that as well. I'm normal to dry, but once in a while I get a little bit oily, like in my T-zone. It's the weirdest thing ever. Moving from the East Coast to the West Coast just completely changed my skin. Like I was somewhere where it was always humid and my skin was oily, and now that there's not like any humidity, my skin is more dry. So my routine has completely changed over the last couple of years. So I'm gonna show you guys what I do, but you can use this routine for any skin type. Just tweak a few little things to your skin if you're more oily. I'm going to start with a facial oil. I'm going to be using the Fourth Ray Glow Up Facial Oil. I'm going to be using this on my face to prep my skin for makeup. So this essentially is going to be my primer. I'm going to put this straight on my beauty blender and I'm going to start pressing this into my skin. This oil has vitamin C, jojoba oil, antioxidants, vitamin C, and maracuja oil. When you're dry, you want anything hydrating on your face. You want to fake the glow, because when you're dry and you get dry patches and your skin looks dull, you want the opposite of that, which is glowing skin. And that's what I'm doing with this oil. We're faking the glow and also nourishing our skin underneath of our makeup. Now I'm going to take the Hourglass Stick Foundation. It's pretty much like a liquid and a cream hybrid in one. They're so travel friendly and you can get medium all the way to full coverage, and it's just so easy. You don't have to worry about the hassle with liquids and you can still get full coverage, and I love that. I'm going to be using the shade Nude today. So all I do with my foundation is I start to apply it on the skin, and you can just see I'm barely putting any pressure and it just glides so nicely with the oil underneath, but my skin doesn't look oily. And again, if you're dry, you probably love oils like I do. Taking a Morphe M439, I'm going to start to buff this into the skin. And all I do is just press and slightly move the foundation. I don't even really swirl it. I just press it into the skin. Two products mixed together really do all of the work for you. I like to make this cute little face and make sure I really get in on the sides of my nose so the foundation doesn't crease and settle. I just press it. My next step is concealer, and I'm going to use this one from Benefit. This is the Boing Cakeless Concealer. I'm using the shade number 3. I'm going to go down this side of my nose right here, and then I'm going to bring it up in a triangle. You want to lift the face. Make sure not to go too low onto the cheek, because then you're going to start highlighting and bringing that highlight too far down. So I like to go right before where I would apply my highlight. I usually apply my highlight right here. So I'm going to go right there, and then I'm also going to bring the concealer up the sides of the nose so I don't do as much contouring. This helps my nose shape. And then I'm going to do a little squiggly line because it's also going to be my eye primer today. And make sure you get that inner part as well. So just like that. I'm also going to go on my chin, right around my nose right here. I get a lot of redness right here. I'm going to take a beauty blender and start blending everything out. Again, with the cute faces, I really stretch that under eye out to make sure I get all of that concealer in there, and then I blend it so it doesn't settle in any fine lines. So now I'm going to cream contour, and I'm going to use a darker concealer. You can use a darker concealer, a darker foundation, any kind of cream contour that you have. I'm going to be using this today. This is from Laura Mercier, and this is in the shade N9. I had this darker concealer. By all means, don't feel like you have to buy an expensive concealer. You could even use the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This concealer is amazing and it's under $5. I'm using creams today because a lot of people that are more on the dry side don't like to use too many powders because it can emphasize any dry patches. So I want to show you guys how I use a darker concealer to cream contour. I'm going to go in the hollows of the cheeks like that. And I like to curve it upwards a little bit. I'm also going to go on the jawline. And then I like to take it around my hairline. I'm wearing a wig today, so I'm being like a little cautious. For my nose, I really don't do too much because of the concealer. So I'm going to add a small amount of product. Also, I like to put a little bit underneath my lip. I'm going to take my foundation brush. There's still a little bit of foundation on here. And I'm just going to start to press it into the skin. And I like to press upwards for the cheek contour. I don't want to drag it downwards. You can see how I have a more natural definition right there. My lights might be a little bright, but you should be able to see like a natural little shadow. You want to do this before you set your concealer because if you do it afterwards, it can mix with the powders and then it can get a lot messier and it can look patchy or cakey. I'm just going to take a smaller brush on my nose contour. I'm going to go back to my concealer and apply underneath of my contour. And taking my sponge, I'm just going to blend it out. Very important. You see how my concealer is creasing underneath of my eyes because I didn't set it. Go back to your sponge, blend all of that out. You can even use your finger if you want. Make sure you press all of that concealer back into place before you set it. I'm going to take Huda Beauty Banana Bread Powder and I'm going to set my concealer. On the sides of my nose, I'm just going to press it in. I'm taking the excess, setting my chin and around my mouth, anywhere I feel like I'm a little bit shiny. Now I'm going to dust off all of the excess powder. And then on my nose as well. This trick is especially for my dry girls because you're going to be like mind blown if you've never done this. For my bronzer today, we're not going to use a traditional bronzer. I'm going to be using a darker translucent setting powder for my skin. That way, it's going to give us a very sheer coverage. It's going to set the cream, but it's not going to be too powdery, too cakey. So I'm just going to take a little bit in the lid, and I'm going to take a little bronzing brush. So I'm going to go over everywhere that I used contour. I like to buff with a bigger brush after placing it because I think it just looks so much softer on the skin. You shouldn't see this at all sitting on the skin because it is a translucent setting powder. I'm using a smaller brush for the nose contour. Now I'm going to add my blush. I'm going to take this little pink matte shade from Laura Mercier. I'm bringing my blush in pretty far today because I want to also go on the nose. I want like this area to have blush. Miss Fenty's going to help me out in highlight today. I'm going to use Hustla Baby, which is this color right here. And I'm going to spray my brush with the Versali 24K gold infused. Oh, it's so bougie. Face mist. I just opened this one because I just ran out of one. You could use this. You could use Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist, which I'm like almost out of. You could use MAC Fix Plus. Literally any mist you have will do if you want that extra little glow. I like to take my brush just like this, coat it really well, tap off the excess, and we're going to give it a quick little bath. Ooh, yes, girl. The mist helps it to really sink into the skin and not look powdery. And now it just like, you can't see where the highlighter is, where your blush is, where your contour is, where your foundation is. It just all blends into one, you know what I'm saying? I haven't done my eyes yet, but I always hit my brow bone with the highlight. People actually thought that I got a facelift in my last video because my ponytail was so snatched. But no, you can see my brows. They're still down as ever. They were like this in my last video. I'm just precisely highlighting a few high points on my face. I'm gonna spray this all over my skin just to melt everything together. Using this routine, it should already look like one, but this is just like being extra, 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 extra. Flawless. All right, so now I'm just gonna finish the rest of my makeup and I will be back with the final look. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you picked up some little tips. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and to hit subscribe down below if you have not already. As always, I will link every product I use on my face down in the description bar. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having the best holiday season and I will catch you in my next video.